right.
I wanna be. I'm trying to be. Duval County. I was known for wildin', never known for styling. With that chrome, I'm spazzing out. On my bus for
Instagram,
nothing, on the block, I'm bussing. How could God
Facebook, YouTube.
Like killer bees, I'm buzzing. Hennessy, I'm struggling. Ain't no way to drink.
All right,
this
now
out.
I'm seeing. Now I'm seeing
God
something.
forgive me
Now
now.
I'm seeing something.
Could he ever use
All
me?
right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Technical difficulties. Just some technical difficulties. Our end of the year. This is our end of the year. Last GodsMan on deck year.
I know it's smoke for me. Lord knows, let me be everything you want from me.
Hey, baby, there go my beautiful wife.
Keep on trying.
Yep.
I don't want to lie, Lord. I don't want to let you
Baby,
down.
baby.
Trying to let you down. And every day,
Hey,
I get
mama.
on my knees and pray for the pain to go away.
Boy, if you can't depend on nobody, you can always depend on your wife
Like I never blew
and
it,
your
like
mama.
it's
So
nothing
treat them right.
I
Y'all
always
niggas
end up
out
with
there.
the God hand. And when I'm walking through the door, they know I'm God's man. Yeah. Man up, I'm coming.
Larry, how you doing? Sean, what's going on?
Turn up, still humming. Yeah, baby.
Listen,
boy
while y'all
needing
coming
his
in, I
daddy.
need you to
What's
do me a
funny?
favor. Click, tag,
We
and
playing
share.
roles in
We need
reversal.
some men.
Can't blame
We
it on
need
the
some
women,
men
that's
on this
pitiful.
live.
And
Jeff
I
Choey
ain't shooting
Tinsley,
boys on
talk to
some
me tonight, man, on this
black
subject.
in the bushes, I was talking to Apostle.
Make sure I want to hear you tonight. I want to hear you tonight. And we're gonna get better at tagging people in on these broadcasts and on these lives in the future. But it's Renato Rogers. Do me a favor, click your brothers, uncles, husbands. Tag some men in on this live. Tag some men in on this live. Barbara Mitchell, tag some men in on this live. For the ones that's coming in on YouTube, we appreciate you. Ones coming in on Facebook, we appreciate you. Curtis McCliver, missing you guys. Listen, it's the end of the year, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and I put a flyer up also. What's going on, Nikita? Where my boy Les at? Stefanetta, how you doing? God bless you. God bless you. Talk about was some of the things. They go Bobby Brown, Dennis Lumpkin. What's going on? Instagram, how you doing? That is y'all got some of the craziest. Carlina Toshelli. Make sure you tag some of them brothers, uncles, tag them in here, and do me a favor. After this is over tonight, I want you to tag them in this and make sure that they get it. John Roberts, what's going on, man? I am well. Les, there you go. Listen, I wanted to talk about a subject that and everything that we bring to GodsMan on Deck, especially when it comes to men, is something that either I have gone through, right? Have experienced or is going through. Right, I have experience, or it's something that I'm experiencing at the moment. Joseph Alexander, how you doing? And so it is so important. It is so important that some of these lives, Caitlin, what's happening? That these lives get to some of these men, especially because we don't have a lot of people, especially when you're out there, unless you are in a circle of believers. We don't have particular type of conversations that we ought to have all the time. And so it's these type of conversations that make difference. And I put on Facebook earlier a flyer for tonight's discussion. And tonight's discussion is, can you be a forerunner? Can you be a forerunner? And I've been talking with people I trust, especially my wife, my mentor, people that are important in my life. Important in my life. Their view is important in my life. Their wisdom is important in my life. And just kind of sharing, because it's the end of the year. At the end of the year, anybody that's not really evaluating at the end of the year, I want to be around people that are evaluating, people that want to go farther, people that want to do something different, people that want to do, if not do better, extend right? Or go to different levels. And this beginning of the year, as I was talking to some of our friends and close people, I begin to think about it and really think about the subject of being a forerunner. And I thought about the subject because of I start dealing with confidence, right? I'm not a person that really dealt with that, ever really had to deal with confidence, because being the type of person I was, I always had to kind of run by myself, not really depend on anybody to be there or agree with me in it, right? Or agree with what I was doing. I kind of had to always do that. But the more that you become a man, and when I say a man, the more that you become a person that is responsible, accountable, and it goes for women too. Once you become a person that's responsible and accountable, you begin to question things, because what you say and do now, it is important. It is important. So I start dealing with confidence, right? Start dealing with, man, things that I had been confident about. What I would start not to feel so confident about them, right? Because, and these were things that I had always been a forerunner in. And it made me think about, and I also put a post up. Both of these I want to talk about. I'm gonna talk about the subject. I'm gonna talk about the subject of, can you be a forerunner? What's the pressure of it? A lot of you are talking about starting businesses. A lot of you men are talking about starting businesses. A lot of you men are talking about venturing out and doing something different. Are you ready for that? Has somebody else already done it? Are you doing something that nobody else has done? And if you're doing something that nobody else has done, or nobody where you are has done it, are you ready for what you're getting ready to experience in it? Because it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be something that you've never experienced before. And the one thing about it, the one thing about it is that it's hard when you are the forerunner. You're in a lane that nobody else is in. You are the one that nobody else is doing exactly what you're doing. And therefore, when I think about a forerunner, the first person I thought about was John the Baptist. It's only what he's the one. And the reason why he is so good of an example for us as a forerunner is because, man, he had to prepare the way for our Savior. He had to prepare the way for one of the greatest men. He had to prepare the way, but he wasn't gonna get the glory. He wasn't gonna get the honor. He really wasn't gonna get the credit. He was the one that had his head chopped off. He was the one. John the Baptist was the one that people talked about what he wore. I mean, he's the forerunner for the glory of God to come, but it wasn't no glory in his story. He's the forerunner for the glory of God, for the idea of, and he is coming forth to introduce Christ, but he's not just introducing Christ, he's introducing another way of life. He is the one that is at the moment, and let me just talk about it. Let me talk about it from the circumstance of time in John the Baptist, and I'll make it relative in a minute, if you give me that chance. So he's the one that at this moment, he is the one that's changing the life and the narratives of what it looks like to be a forerunner. He is the one that's changing the narrative of everybody. And nobody don't like it. They're not really interested in him like that. They're not on him like that. They're not. And so he has more people that are disgusted with him. And at some point, yeah, people start getting baptized by him, but he's the forerunner. The forerunner always goes through pressures, because the forerunner, what's up, Rashay? The forerunner is opening up doors and going into places that nobody ever went in. And the forerunner has to take abuses. The forerunner has to go through temptations of quitting. The forerunner has to, because nobody's doing what he or she is doing. Nobody is doing what he or she is doing. So you have nothing to look at. And when you look at everybody else is doing what everybody else is doing. So it looks like I need to be doing what everybody else is doing, because if I do what everybody else is doing, then I'll be approved. But the forerunner is like, you begin to be discouraged. A forerunner begins to be discouraged. If you starting a business, especially if you're doing something and none of your friends are doing it, nobody else around you are doing. Most people that became millionaires, most people that became very wealthy, most people that broke records, most people that did something in music that was never done, most of those people were forerunners for something that never had been done before, and they had an idea. And the idea did not agree with what the narrative says it is. So I start dealing with that type of confidence, right? Because I'm like, that's something I really want to do. I'm just being honest and being real. I want to create some things, and I want to release some things, and I want to do some things. But when I look at the pool of people that are around me, none of the pool of people that are around me or in my atmosphere are doing anything like that. And if I begin to watch this, if I begin to compare myself to what that looks like, then it looks like I don't need to be doing it. What if John the Baptist would have did the same thing? Like, man, ain't nobody else wearing camel's hair. And he's hearing a voice to tell him to put this on. He's hearing a voice to tell him to stay in a certain place, even though, it says that he was in the wilderness. It wasn't like he was out there by himself. He was with the Essenes. He was just being taught by another set. He wasn't being, it just, we don't get into the historical part of it. But just the fact of when you are called, and somebody put in there to stand alone, can you do it? I'm telling y'all, this tonight, this is for somebody that is, you're on the brink, and tag some of these men, tag these men, these brothers in here. This is a new year. We're getting ready to go into a new year. You're getting ready to do something that nobody else has done. You're getting ready to move into an area that watch this, listen to this part. One of the things that happened to me when I started my first church, I used to feed, and I would feed I fed like every other Saturday. And eventually I went to once a month because there was so many people coming and we couldn't keep up. But it was a pastor that was down the street that saw what I was doing. And when he saw what I was doing, what he done was he began to advise me that I needed to quit. He was like, you don't need to be doing this. He was like, they ain't going to bring nothing. They ain't going to do nothing. He began to tell me what his experience is. Listen to me good. When you are a forerunner and you're getting ready to go out and do something, you can't go off of someone else's success or non-success. You can't go off for whether they were successful or not and then compare yourself to it. So one of the worst things you can do is to have a vision and then go and talk to somebody that wasn't successful with their vision, and then let their influence sit on you and stop you from moving forward, because you're in this moment of being a forerunner or a pioneer in what you are beginning to do. I'm going to be careful tonight to say what God is calling you to do, because in a lot of these instances, God he's already released us into everything that we have and everything we will be. He doesn't have to say it. Listen, when he spoke, he only spoke once over our life. And every door that was supposed to be open is open, and every door that is supposed to be closed is closed. And in most cases, we open the wrong doors, right? And we go into the wrong doors. So I'm going to be careful to say what God is saying and what no. And a lot of what's going on now, I want to encourage somebody tonight that you have to stay on your path. The path ain't easy. It was nothing easy about, man, look at John the Baptist. What was easy about that? What was easy about him coming against, the Herod? Because, Herod was a title. What was easy about him coming after and say, hey man, you can't sleep with your brother, with your brother died, but you can't go and sleep and lay with his wife. And she hear about it, and of course he's beheaded because of it. When you are a forerunner or a pioneer, you have to now walk into something, and you got to know that it ain't gonna be easy. You ain't gonna fit. And if you fit the narrative, you might not be a forerunner or a pioneer. I watch as people struggle. And it was the first time this thing began to hit me. I began to deal with my confidence, man. I was like, dang, this, and I'm talking to a couple of my brothers, and I'm like, man, I don't feel the same, way. I don't feel the same. I don't feel that same vibe. I don't feel that same thrust, and I was talking with my baby earlier, and it's good to have somebody that trusts, believes, and pushes you. But listen, they cannot be responsible for you and you having the confidence that you're supposed to have yourself. They can't have more confidence. You have to be confident in that. So when you're called to be a forerunner, you're called to be a forerunner, you're called to be a pioneer. It's one of my I wrote a post on transformation because for some of you, a lot of you are going through transformation right now, whether you want to admit it or not. You got a particular transformation that's happening right now, right? And I put down there, I said on my post, and it's on my page, I say, let me get it, because I don't want to misquote this. I don't want to misquote this, and I want you guys to hear this right. It says transformation cannot be explained. I want you to catch this. Transformation cannot be explained. You are not who you were. You're only a prototype of who you will be. Transformation cannot be explained. You are not who you were, only who you are, and a prototype of who you will be. I'm gonna say it again. Transformation. A lot of you right now are trying to, and I spent a lot of time the last couple of weeks, because as you transform or you metamorphosis and you come to different levels of consciousness, and when I say consciousness, I mean that which is relative to you, right? Once you come to different places of what's relative to you, what's important to you, those things that you're not going to be so focused on, those things that you are going to be focused on. Once you begin to go to different levels of transformation, you begin to change, and you begin to look at stuff different. And so, lately I had found myself within the last month and 2 months saying that I'm this way and I'm that way. And let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something, Jeff. You cannot keep trying to explain transformation, because you're trying to explain something that's in process. It's like you're cooking something, and that what you're putting together, it's in process, and you're trying to explain the process when you really can't explain it. I found myself saying, well, I don't know, I feel like this, and I feel like this, and I was in the quiet in the car, and I heard the Holy Spirit say, stop trying to explain transformation. He says, stop trying to explain transformation. He says, you're not who you were. Pause. I had to pause right there. He says to you, you're not who you were. You're only who you are, and a prototype of who you will be. That blew me away. It blew me away because I had to give up the notion. And now I start to understand why I didn't have the same confidence. I didn't have the same confidence because I'm not the same person. I didn't have the same confidence because I'm not in the same place. You don't have the same confidence because on the level where you are now, watch this, you have exceeded the level that you were on. On the level that you were on, you were fully confident because you had fully conquered that level. So your confidence, your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding, your fortitude, you as a forerunner, you as a pioneer, you had everything on that level. And it was accomplished at that level. But when you are raised to your next level, whether it's promotional, whether it's financial, whether it is spiritual, on whatever level it is, it changes. Because now where you are now, it's a new place. And we talk about new. We love new. We go crazy about new. You know, new doors, new this and new that. And we have to now accept the fact that, yeah, God has you walk you in a new door, but you have to now become acclimated to the new place where you now sit. And the new place where you now sit ain't comfortable. The old place was comfortable because you had sat there so long that let's put this, the spiritual throne that you sat on had formed itself to all of you, all of how you fit on in that place. But the place where you are right now is different, man. So I had to start understanding. You can't explain transformation. You can't keep explaining it because you're not in the same place. You're not in the same position. And this is what some of you brothers got to understand. We get frustrated. And we get frustrated because, and a lot of times, especially when our significant others ask us questions and we want to answer it, sometimes you got to say, I don't know. I don't know is honest. I wish I had came to that wisdom because I wouldn't have been trying to confuse myself because I'm trying to explain the process. When the Holy Spirit says you're not who you were, meaning, everything that you was, everything that you accomplished, everything that you had made a success is now over. Now you are in the new place and you got to gain the confidence to now do what you're called to pioneer in this place. And boy, it don't feel good. That don't feel good. Whew. That's scary. We talk about, children of Israel, right? And the 12 spies, right? Talk about the 12 spies and Caleb and Joshua. And all of us on here right now, we would say that we're more Caleb and Joshua than the 10 that came back and said, listen, man, let me tell y'all something. We like grasshoppers in their sight. The 10 that came back, they wasn't looking at none of the fruit. The 10 that came back could only see how small they were. And this is the thing. You're getting ready to walk in a new year, but I want you to take comfort that you can't speak every moment, have the wisdom of every moment, and release prophetically every moment. No, man, some of this is unknown. Some of this is unknown. This territory you ain't never been in before. That's why you ain't got that type of confidence. You don't have that confidence because, listen, you've never been there before. This is a new place for you. This is absolutely different. And so now you got to say to yourself, I'm ready for this. I ain't got the confidence, but you know what? I'm going to keep going. That's what you got to say. It's unknown. It's untapped. It's unknown. You've never been there before. Can you be a forerunner? It's going to be scary because guess what? Everybody ain't finna agree with you, bro. And everybody ain't, watch this. Everybody ain't going to like what you present to them neither. What's going on, Mike? Everybody, listen, Mike, everybody ain't going to the you that's coming forward to try to make moves, and they're gonna because in their eyesight somebody else already tried to do it. You just trying to do something somebody else already tried to do, but they ain't got nothing to do with me. When you are forerunner, you're a forerunner, you're a pioneer, you're called to do something, you're gonna be pressed. Holy Spirit says you're not who you were. He says stop trying to explain your transformation. First of all, you're frustrating yourself because you're trying to explain your transformation. You're trying to tell people what your revelation of the moment is, and it's only in the moment because your revelation gonna keep changing because you're not complete. You're trying to tell somebody something about yourself, and you're not complete. You can't do that. It doesn't make sense, Francio. So the only thing you can do is don't try to explain your transformation. Just be in that moment, man, and allow it to do what it's do. It's uncomfortable. I'm gonna tell you right now. But I believe now. But this is the deal, though. This is the real. This is really. I hadn't felt this type of discomfort and lack of confidence probably over 20 years. Now watch. If you hadn't felt something like that in so long, it's because of what is getting ready to come before you is great. And it's real, and it's tangible, and it's touchable. And the reason why it is so uncomfortable, and the reason why it feels like it does, and the reason why the pressure, and the reason why it's scary is because it's real, and it's getting ready to be revealed, and it's getting ready to be great. Your 2023 is getting ready to be great. That fear you feel is good. That discomfort you feel is good. That lack of confidence you feel is good. Why? Because it says that you have left one place, you're on another place, and you're ready for where you're going. Terry Weems. It's good. It's good. So this is what you're feeling. You're a pioneer. You're a forerunner to something. You're a pioneer and a forerunner to something that somebody has never done. And even if they've done it, they ain't done it the way you're doing it. Even if they're doing it, they ain't did it the way you're doing it. They don't even have the same audience you have. They don't have the same reach you have. Watch this. They don't have the same. Apostle Bobby Owens, what's going on, man? They don't have the same dimensions you have. So yeah, they're not like you. So it's going to be scary because you putting something out there that they have not seen. And personally, you're going to have a lot of haters. You're going to have some haters because what they're going to start saying is, what he doing that for? What's she doing that for? Why they doing that? They're going to question it because it's a dimension that they have never had. And because they wouldn't watch this, because they didn't have the bravery to do it, they're gonna come at you about it. They're gonna come at you with it. Can you be a forerunner though? This is the thing about it. The question is for you. The question is, are you gonna quit? That's the question. Are you gonna quit? He said, "I'll open up rivers in your desert." You think that's gonna be easy? He says, I'm opening, this is what Isaiah said, I'm opening a river in your desert. Now watch this. Everybody that's looking at you, they only see a desert. They don't see a river in your desert. You feel me? Everybody that's watching you, Isaiah says he's gonna make it. He says, behold, I'm releasing new things. Behold, he says, I'm releasing a new thing. He says, I'm going to put a river in your desert. Everybody is not going to see a river in. They're not going to see it. So what you're going to be doing, you're going to look crazy to them. You're going to look crazy because they're going to be looking and they're going to be saying, it ain't nothing in what she doing. It ain't nothing in what he doing. Why is he doing that? And they're going to hate on you because of what you're doing, because what you're doing does not fit into what the narrative is. And guess what? Pioneers, forerunners don't fit into a narrative. We just don't. 8 to 80, blind, crippling, crazy. Real pioneers don't fit into the narrative. Even when they get old, when you look at some of the people that were pioneers, there's still nobody that really stepped in their shoes and did what they done. There are bishops that have left here that did great works, and they had people that took over their church, but they did not do what they did. They wasn't. Why? Because they were a forerunner. They were forerunners. They were pioneers of something that was never done. The achievements that some of you are getting ready to achieve is something that nobody has ever done, and you can't be intimidated in this season. I'm telling you right now, if you ain't really got confidence in it, it's probably where you're supposed to be at, because that means pride ain't in there. If you're uncomfortable in it, that's probably where you're supposed to be at. That means you have to depend on trust on God again. If you ain't feeling like you really being tried in it, then that's probably where you're supposed to be at. And I'm telling you right now, I'm feeling all that pressure, and I know I'm feeling all that pressure because the enemy knows what's getting ready to happen in your life. He knows it. He knows it. He knows what's getting ready to happen. He knows that a new you is coming, and a new you is threatening because the new you is getting ready to release and bring freedom, and it's getting ready to open some things up, and it's getting ready to do something, and he does not want you. That's why you feeling this weight right now. I ain't talking about no New Year's resolution. I'm talking about the evolvement and the transformation of who you are. Listen, when the Holy Spirit told me this on my way home, it blew my mind. He said, stop trying to explain your transformation. He says you're wasting your time and you're making yourself frustrated because he says you're in metamorphosis. In other words, I'm still dimensionalizing and releasing you in so many ways. You can't explain that. You can't explain what's coming out of you. You ain't going to be able to explain it. You ain't going to be able to explain why I like this. I used to like that, but I don't like it no more. I used to like this, but I don't like it no more. Why? You're changing. Good God Almighty. There's new parts of you getting ready to be. There's new parts of you getting ready to be revealed. There's new revelation getting ready to come to you about your life and the people that are around you. There's new things there's new things that's getting ready to happen all around you, to you, and the transformation that's happening. He says, stop trying to explain it. He says, you are not who you were. Man, that spoke to me, because who I was, I was confident in. Who I was magnificent. Who I was, it was done. Who I was, I felt strong. Who I was, and I didn't realize I was so focused on who I was, but who I was has been complete. But who I am is who I am. I'm still transforming. And this is what he says. You're not who you were. He says you're only who you are, and a prototype. Hear me. I want you to hear this word. You are a prototype of who you will be in the future. He says, right now, you ones that can connect to what I'm saying, you are a prototype. You know what a prototype is? A prototype is something that cannot be released because it is not finished yet. It's not ready to be revealed. Yeah. We say stuff and we hear stuff, but we don't really understand what we're saying. We're mind, body, and soul. We are tridimensional. I ain't gonna get deep, but it is what it is. There's the old you. There's the you that you are right now, and there's the you that you will be. And those three, the old you is done. The you that you are right now is pressing towards the one that you're becoming. The prototype is the prototype is the building blocks
of the man that you are becoming or the woman that you are becoming, but the prototype cannot be released. So some of the future you is showing right now, and I'm going to tell you right now, folk ain't going to like it. Because you don't agree. You're not fitting in with the narrative. The narrative and the truth of the matter is people getting ready to see you. They're getting ready to see you. They're getting ready to experience you. Whatever talent you got, whatever, we got people whatever talent, whatever you do, whatever your business is, whatever your ministry is, or whatever it is, there is a you that's getting ready to be revealed. And if you're nervous about it, I come tonight to bring you confidence in that place where you don't feel confident. I had a friend of mine, man, call me, man, and say, man, I don't know what you're feeling about. I don't know what you're feeling about this. I don't know what you're feeling. He texts me, I don't know what you're feeling. Al, he texts me, I don't know what you're feeling about this, and I don't know what you're feeling about that, man. But I really believe. Let me tell you something. If it's not something that's going to change the face of things, then you won't be tested in it. But if it's something that can change lives and change the way things move, then I'm going to tell you, you're going to be tested in it. You're going to be tried in it. I want you tonight, because some of you done already, you done, and so a lot of us are talking about the vision we already wrote. This ain't no resolution to us. We ain't got to go and write it out, write the vision and make it play. No, this thing is right. This thing is written on the script of our heart. It's in us. It's our DNA. It's a part of us now. So this is what's being said to you tonight. If you're feeling all of these things, congratulations. Wrestling with confidence, congratulations. Being tested and not knowing whether this thing is really going to come to, congratulations. Congratulations. You're right where you need to be. This is that time. It's that time right now. You're not who you were. You're not who you were. You're only who you are and a prototype of who you will be. God right now is stretching everything about you, and it's uncomfortable. Lean in on him stretching you. Don't run away from it. Lean in on it. Stay there. Stay there. Don't try to explain it. Why? Because he ain't through talking. What if Elijah would have stopped in the middle of God showing him everything he was showing him while he was in the cave and tried to come out and to explain it? No, let the process happen. And then as the process happens, you'll be able to rightly let people know and rightly let people not just hear, but see what's going on. So I'm looking at some comments over here. And some of you are putting up confidence of 100%. I see some people right here that are saying standing alone, and standing alone ain't easy. The one thing about being a forerunner is this is in this season. As a forerunner, can you stand walking by yourself in this? Can you do that? Because it's going to be challenging. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Can you do that? Because it's going to be the thing that makes the difference in what you're getting ready to go through and where some of you are right now. Let this time build you, because what's happening to you right now and what's happening with you right now, it's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. And it's beautiful and it doesn't feel good, but this is what it proves. I'm in the process. Apostle Bobby Orange put confirmation and affirmation. I'm in the process. It feel heavy. I'm in the process. I feel tested. I'm in the process. See, the one thing about when God challenges us to do something we've never done, when he does challenge us like this is what happening. Congratulations, a lot of you. And I got to come off early because I got another call. Congratulations to your new level. You got a new level that you're experiencing right now. So if it's heavy, it's exactly where you're supposed to be. Do me a favor tonight. Do me a favor tonight and take this and share this. Share this with somebody that you've been having that conversation with. Share this with somebody that's been talking about it, that's been talking about how they feeling, especially with some of these brothers, and especially share it with somebody that you're really being led to share this with. All right. It's Pastor Fred, God's Man on Deck. Listen, 2023 is here. Plan to be the best you, and you will be the best you. But you got to plan to be the best you. All right. Big up to all my kings. King's Council does continue. It will be continuing on Tuesday. King's Council. It does continue. I'll be back in the house. We have been taken off for the New Year, so we got the New Year's coming up. So it won't be this Tuesday, but Tuesday after next, and we'll be back in the building. All the holidays will be past, you brothers. So some of you brothers, I want you to come out. Bring some of those, especially your older sons. Bring some of them with you. We do have King's Council for the teenagers. So we want you to be a part of that. All right. All right. So listen, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you that definitely have been supportive of God's Man on Deck, especially for this year out. We thank God for everything he's doing. Listen, it's going down on New Year's. Let me turn this down a little bit. It's going down on New Year's. On New Year's, it is going down. So be in the building. We're gonna start out. Look at the flyer. We're gonna start out. We're gonna have a great time. We got the trap choir coming. You never know what type of surprises you're gonna get when you come into Unity. And if you didn't see the service from on Wednesday night, if you did not see the anointing in the service on Wednesday night, I want you to go back and go back and have a replay. Go to Unity Charlotte International on Facebook and check the replay out from Wednesday night. But Saturday night, our New Year's Eve service. And then on Sunday morning, we're going to be right back in the building at 11 o'clock. We are coming out running hard. 2023 for us, moving intentionally in 2023. That's our theme. That's our plan. That's our goal. That's the way we're moving. All right. God bless you all. Have a good night.